Sober Boundaries is designed as a discussion and information sharing platform when it comes to enjoying and having success in sobriety. Hello, welcome to Sober Boundaries. My name is Wade Davis. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe along with the bell. That way you'll be notified each time we post a new episode. Thank you. In this series, I will pass on some of the basic tips and also important information that was given to me by others in recovery. This information eventually helped me get clean and sober and has allowed me to experience sobriety success. What I have to share, I learned from multiple treatment admissions and also multiple relapses. Some of this stuff you only pay for with pain and suffering. Okay, first I want to share some of my past. I grew up on the west side of Chicago and was basically a shy nerd until, as a teenager, I ran into some of the real hip wannabes a few blocks from my neighborhood. You know, that kind of hip guy. From age 17 to 14, I learned to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, marijuana, and to embrace a form of negative behavior. All the time that I spent in the hood, my parents, my mother and father, thought I was playing sports. Even though I did participate in a little basketball and more baseball, most of the time was spent learning that negative behavior. That was mostly done during the day, and since my father was not there most nights, after my mother went to sleep, I would sneak out and hang on the corner with the other delinquents. As a person, I was on the path of failure, cutting classes and some days skipping school and participating in petty crimes. Fortunately, this changed when I joined the Air Force at age 17. This was during the Vietnam War, and my test scores were high enough that allowed me to enlist without a high school diploma. After 2 years of job training, I did get my GED. I even did well for a number of years, but I was still immature. So, after losing my instructor job at the 9-year point, this immaturity convinced me to leave the military with a wife and 2 children. A few years later, the marriage was over, and then I fell into about 8 years of homeless addiction. At age 40, after multiple admissions to various treatment programs, in November of 1995, I finally got clean and sober and have stayed that way ever since then. If you are like I was, it is obvious that starting over totally from scratch is what you're facing. Hopefully, this will be your ground zero of sobriety starting. Okay, understand that you must, as I have stated in other videos, stay away from everything negative. I had a very focused sponsor and 1.5 friends. The one will become my wife a few years later, and the half unfortunately relapsed, and I never saw him again. That last time I was in treatment was for almost a year. I followed the program and met a few serious individuals that had multiple years of sobriety and clean time. You will meet the same type of individuals. They can provide a living blueprint for you to follow. After a substance abuse lifestyle, this is what we all really need. From those people, I learned extreme optimism, faith, honesty, humility, and structure. When starting over, we need this small group of individuals as informal mentors. When you find someone that you can relate to, make sure to get permission from them to ask questions. Some of them get a little tight, which you can understand that. Ask a lot of questions and get whoever your doctor or counselor or sponsor, get them to help you develop a life plan. Write it down. Why? Most people in recovery don't know what to do first, second, third, fourth, or whatever when it comes to trying to put their life back together. In the next video of this series, I will show you some of the many categories of options that those in recovery need to know about and consider, but don't really think about. Remember, be patient. Expect the next few seasons in your life to be a slow trot and not a sprint. Remind yourself that the mindset of instant gratification helped dig this pit that you're in. While writing the next few pages of your life story, always find moments to be grateful, humble, and forgiving. A couple of things you need to hear now, okay? Number one, if you seek and get help from someone else in recovery, the one unforgivable sin is deception. Breaking trust is like a death sentence to 99.9% of those in recovery, and the news of your sin will travel through the recovery community like wildfire. If this happens to you, you will have a terrible sense of being alone and will probably relapse. So take heed. If you are associated with a formal treatment program, no matter what it is, religious, secular, inpatient, outpatient, follow the program. I have been in multiple types of treatment, and I still use the principles from all of them to help keep me from being confused and caught up in mayhem. Okay, number two, while in treatment, understand you are not the only patient in the building. There's a saying that you need to keep in mind. Your lack of life planning does not constitute an emergency for everyone else. Give that some thought. As I said earlier, in the next episode, I will show you several recovery options most don't think about. As a nurse, I have worked in both the hospital and clinic environments dealing with recovery. And I've seen that those who learn and follow the principles of their program have a much higher rate of success. Remember, only three things can happen, right? Sobriety, prison or jail, or death. It's your choice. If you like the content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell so you'll be notified of our next episode, and hit like and post any questions or suggestions because we like hearing from you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wade Davis. Hope to see you next time. Take care.